showing up? Oh, no, it is. Oh, okay. I think it's working. Hello? Am I live? I think it's working. I had tech support issues then. Hope you're all doing well on this Friday night, the day before the brand new Doctor Who episode. How are we all doing? I hope we're all doing well. I apologise if you saw me just struggling there. For some reason, it was taking a second to connect to the streaming software. It has now done so. Welcome all to this, because we're going to be going over a few things before the episode comes out. Okay, I see some people are starting to pour in there. We got Nifty, we got Tybe Rules 65. I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, Tib Rules or Tybe Rules. Sam Yates, Dan Ben, Doctor Who Mania. Hello to all of you. I hope you're doing well. Ruba Wars, very nice name. Very fun name. How are we all doing? Hello, Darius, love your videos, watch every single one. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Hello from Spain. Oh, I've got to try and remember some Spanish. I got nothing for you, I'm afraid. Buenos dias? No. Yeah? Is that right? Okay, we'll go for that. Can't wait to see Mr. Ringading. I know. We're going to be talking about him a little bit as well in just a second. I've got, like, you know, some stuff to go over in terms of LUX, as well as some recent interviews as well that I have not covered. West Virginia, take me home, country roads. Hi, chum, have a great evening. Well, thank you, John. I appreciate that. Also, by the way, if you're wondering what's in the corner, it's actually not in the corner of my second stream setup, so I better sort that quickly. 1 second. If you're wondering what's in the corner, it's just a little subscriber thing. So if we get any new subscribers, they'll come up directly on the screen. As you can see, we're very close to 26,000, so I'm going to try and see if we can do that. But I've just got to quickly put this in here. There we go. And it's on the wrong side. Let me, look at that. Professionalism. Lovely. Lovely. Legend theories. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, post-monument, I was going to say I'm probably going to be using a couple of your clips in this stream, so I hope that's all good. Yes, so we are going to be taking a look at some LUX stuff, giving you my final predictions, and we're also going to be taking a look at some other news, bits and bobs, previews, that kind of thing. I won't be able to show full previews, of course, as always, because the BBC copyrights everything into oblivion, but hopefully, God willing, they'll actually let us show some stuff. But let's get right into it. We've also got, you know, the new soundtracks to listen to as well. So, lots to get into, so let's dive right in. Apologies if I'm a bit out of practice. I don't stream very often, so if I'm a bit out of practice, just blame it on that. But I hope everyone's doing well. So first of all, I'm sure you've all already seen this. We had a full video preview of LUX featuring the introduction of Mr. Ringading. I actually did cover this slightly on, was it yesterday's video or day before yesterday? One of those. And obviously it shows the Doctor and Belinda arriving and encountering Mr. Ringading as he sings a song about himself. I actually did do a reaction to this. I actually did film a reaction to this. But it was copyright claimed, so I couldn't upload that, unfortunately. That's why I don't do reactions to things particularly often, and that's why I'm scrolling through here. But this looks incredible. Like, everything I've said about this on Twitter, I stand by now. Visually, this looks absolutely incredible. I think Alan Cumming is giving an excellent vocal performance. And I just think this is a really good concept, really good hook. The animation looks absolutely fantastic, like genuinely so quality. It's like composited in really well. Like, I'm not an animation expert, but this just looks fantastic. The thing that I find interesting, well, there's a couple of things. Obviously, I mentioned in the previous video this line. Hopefully, I can play this without getting a claim.
Am I saying Katsu?
So there's that line there, which obviously lends a lot of credence to the TV show theory. And in fact, we're going to be covering another news article that potentially legitimizes that theory. But also there's the repeated use of him saying, "Don't make me laugh," which seems to be either his weakness or what, you know, maybe causes him to go all aggro, because you can sort of see it here.
Don't Don't make me laugh.
There you go. So, yeah, that seems to be his, I don't know, his kind of trigger or his weakness or something like that. So that's very interesting. And obviously it seems like he is powered by light in some way, hence lux, which is Latin for light, I do believe. So yeah, I think he looks really cool. I'm really hyped for this episode, and we've got some more stuff to cover with it as well. But I do want to say as well, talking about the performance of this preview clip, I was looking on Twitter, and the Lux preview has done well over double the Robot Revolutions preview in comparative time frames. As you can see here, this is an old screenshot. This is actually not up to date. But at the time of screenshotting this, it was 45k on YouTube for the Robot Revolution preview, and over 100k on YouTube for the Mr. Ringading preview. That's now at, if I refresh, you might just hear it, so bear with me.
I'm Mr. Ring.
There you go, there he is. 114,000. And if you look at TikTok, it's even bigger difference. 86,000 for Robot Revolution, and just under 250,000 on TikTok for Mr. Ringading. So it's the Mr. Ringading effect in action. I think people are genuinely really curious about this episode, and in fact, I'd like to leave a bit of a bold prediction for you guys. I reckon we might actually see an I reckon we might see actually a slight audience increase from previous. Actually, I think that we might get a slight boost. Oh, we've got a super chat. Thank you to JSP for the £10 super chat. If this is Shooty's final series, I will be devastated. I have never fell in love with a Doctor this quick since Capaldi. I don't want him to go. The show must go on. Yeah, no, the Lux is the title, not the character. No, I agree on Shooty. I would be gutted if he left. I get what some people mean in saying, because I've just seen there Charlie saying he couldn't quite connect. I do understand what you mean. However, for me, I do genuinely really do enjoy him. He gets better and better with each performance for me. And I think in this series in particular, he seems a lot more settled into the role. Obviously, he is a new and different take on the character, so I can totally understand why some people would look at it and go, it's not really the type of Doctor that I want, which is perfectly understandable. You know, every different Doctor has different appeals. But for me, I think, you know, he's really growing on me. I really like that we're seeing a more sinister side to him. The way that I think about it is that when you look at other Doctors, they'll often use their manipulation, or they'll act as the clown in order to kind of deceive their enemies, right? So you look at like the 2nd Doctor or the 11th Doctor, and they kind of play the buffoon, they kind of play the clown in order to deceive their enemies. With the 7th Doctor, he's much more Machiavellian, he kind of manipulates his enemies and stuff like that. What I find interesting about 15, largely potentially as a result of his therapy, I think he's a lot more aware of his emotions, and what I think is interesting about him, and I don't know whether they'll lean into this, but it's what I'm reading into it anyway. The way I see it is that he weaponizes his charm and his affableness in a way to kind of make people see his way of thinking. Does that make sense? Head up in the title of music. Hope this helps. Is there a typo? One sec. Did I make a spelling mistake? Did I make a spelling mistake in the thing? Music. Oh yeah, I did. Thank you for telling me. I must have done it really quickly and just forgot. Music. Let me change that. There we go. I'm just going to blame it on Maestro. There you go. That's why it was spelt wrong. Nothing to do with me. Someone else's fault. No. But thank you very much for the super chat as well. I very much appreciate that. There we go. Hope that's fixed that issue. Yes, we also got a what to expect this episode thing, so I'm going to play that as well. I should be able to play this because it's only about 30 seconds long.
What to expect in this week's episode? Miami in the 50s.
Mysterious disappearances. I think someone's died.
A haunted cinema.
I'm still betting, by the way, this guy has some ties to the toy maker. Like, it just makes too much sense, right? Especially with the line that he goes on to say, Mr. Riggedon goes on to say. I just think that there's a tie-in here.
Please don't hurt them.
And a cartoon come to life.
He does seem, to be fair, to not want the cartoon to hurt them, I suppose, which kind of maybe indicates that the light guy, or the cinema operator, is not evil. My thinking was, is he the real evil one, and Mr. Ringading is actually just, you know, doing what he's told, but maybe not.
Ta-da!
There you go.
Don't make me laugh!
So yeah, his whole thing is "Don't make me laugh," which is also interesting because, you know, what was the main thing? What was the toy maker's whole deal? Last series, his whole thing was, you know, the giggle, right? The laugh was his whole thing. So I'm thinking maybe there's a tie-in there. To be honest, Robot Revolution felt way more like an introduction to 15 than Season 1 did. I wouldn't have even minded if 14 was in Season 1. It's interesting with Season 1. I think the issue is, I've been thinking about this a lot, Season 1 doesn't really have a normal episode until about Rogue in Episode 6, because even Space Babies, like, yeah, it's an introductory episode, but it's such a big concept, and it's such a weird concept to get your general audience to be on board with, essentially. You know, it's such a different concept, it's such a kind of out there thing that, you know, it's not going to work for everyone, whereas Robot Revolution, it's a concept that's a lot simpler, but I also think, you know, it's just a lot easier for most people to get on board with. Yeah, I think I kind of agree with that. I think what I admire about Season 1 is that it does do concepts that we haven't really seen, you know? Because everyone's always said, one thing that always kind of annoyed me is when people said, oh, you know, Series 11 really feels like this new reinvention of the show. And, you know, I'm not trying to knock Series 11 too much, but I never really felt that. The stories we got felt quite generic Doctor Who, whereas at least with Season 1, you know, even though it is Russell T Davies doing the writing, and you can definitely feel the Russell T Daviesisms, and in Boom, you know, that's definitely basically just a 12 Doctor episode. I admire it because the concepts are so much more out there. In some ways, arguably too much. But I think with Season 2, at least from what we've seen so far, they've struck a good balance between traditional Doctor Who kind of premises, whilst also having them be creative and unique as well. And I also think, from what we've seen as well, and from what we're seeing, they've managed to get the tone balance a lot better this year. You know, there's a bit more darkness to it, which is something that I like in Doctor Who. Do you think the 15th Doctor could survive Heaven Sent? Yeah, I mean, he probably would cry a fair bit more. That's a little joke there. But yeah, I actually don't mind his crying. It's weird, like, I think a lot of the times where he cries, it's justified. I think it's just the regularity of it. Speaking of which, we do actually have an article that's going to address that, which I'm going to cover. But next, and actually, oh, if he's still in the chat, oh, I got rid of it. Oh no, oh no. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I want to give a shout out to Post Monument, who was the first person I saw post these. On BBC Radio 3 in Tune, Murray Gold was a guest, and he played, or gave them to play, I suppose, because they are the mastered versions, I believe, 2 of his tracks from the new era. We got Shooty's theme, specifically the Joy to the World Christmas version, which I'm not going to be able to play much of, but I'll play a couple of seconds. There you go, so there was that one. But also, more interestingly, we had this one, which is an official track from Reality War. And the reason this is interesting is that if you listen to around sort of 140, where is it? Let me get the right bit. Maybe 130, where is it? Wait, is it 120? I'm trying to find the one bit where it starts going into his theme. Yeah, there you go. So, interestingly, a lot of people have picked up on, it kind of sounds regeneration-y, right? Like, it just does. Now, I have seen some people point out that a similar musical piece was played in Space Babies, so, take that with a grain of salt. Maybe it will just be that. Equally, though, we have seen musical reuse before. Famously and somewhat oddly, the ending of Boom reuses the ending of the Star Beast music where they reveal the TARDIS, which I always thought was a weird choice. But anyway, it also does have bits of his theme and does feel very epic towards the end as well. And it does give Regeneration vibes. I would recommend listening to it to yourself. If you're not on Twitter, George Sheard has also done an upload of the music as well. But yeah. This scares me. Why does it sound like a regeneration? Exactly, it does sound like a regeneration scene, for sure. You can't get copyright claimed for the RTD tour music because it's not registered on YouTube due to there being no soundtrack. I think even if they haven't released the soundtrack, they could probably copyright it, I feel like. Maybe you're right. I don't know what it is about them. I don't know why Murray Gold... Look, I love Murray Gold. I'm glad he's back. I like his music. I don't know why he's allergic to releasing soundtracks, though. Like, surely it's just in the financial benefit of everyone to release them. I don't really understand. They did a fake regeneration once. That's true, they did do that. They did do a fake regeneration once. So maybe it's that, maybe it's... I've kind of speculated before, if the future of Doctor Who is relatively up in the air, they could do like a cliffhanger kind of regeneration thing, and then if Ncuti wants to continue, they can write around that, because they can do that. But I don't know. But it certainly does give regeneration energy. We also got this, and I'm taking this from Owen at Whovian Life over on Twitter, by the Disney Plus Doctor Who Instagram. They did a preview, kind of similar to what Russell T Davies does in Doctor Who magazine, where like he'll give you like a set of words from upcoming episodes, and they've done it this time, and I'll play it now. So obviously you'll need the sound on. Alright, so we got...
Enjoys the hunt.
Vile.
Most terrifying.
There's another one! This is impossible.
I've never been so scared in my life.
Enjoys the hunt.
So there you go, there's the three... there's more than three. How many words is it? So we got it enjoys the hunt, which is what Ruby says. I'm assuming that's episode 4. The word vile. Most terrifying, from another character. There's another one. Clearly there's some kind of invasion, or they're being swamped by something. This is impossible, which I think is Verada. I've never been so scared in all my life, which is the Doctor. And I think this is from episode 3, I think. I think this is the Well, and then I think that's all of them. Yeah, so interesting. To be honest, I mean, like, I know I've seen some people kind of say that the recent previews have been revealing too much. I don't know what everyone's stance is on that. For me, I'll be honest, on the YouTube side of things, it's fantastic for me, to be able to cover all this stuff. And sometimes, there's so much going on, I miss things, and I might have missed things tonight, but I think I've got most of it lined up from what I saw. I'm very intrigued by what I'm assuming is Belinda's How Many Are There, or something like that. Yeah, we've also got a super chat, and let me just check what currency that is, because I actually don't know. We're going to do a little bit of research. CLP currency. What currency is that? I want to make sure. Currency. That's the Chilean peso. So thank you to Thomas Jerome Newton for the 5,500 Chilean pesos. So the Doctor is a amoeba, and it's osmosis from here on out. Oh wait, so you're referring to like by generation? I don't know, I think it'll probably just work as it always has, right? Can you have a shout out? Of course you can, Mr. Rigging. Yeah, I think the regenerations will probably just work as they normally do, I guess. Do you think this series is classed as camp compared to when it was rebooted? Do I think it's like... So do you mean I think it's too camp? I don't know. It's a difficult one because I do sort of think to a certain degree that everyone kind of forgot what the first Russell T Davies era was actually like. Like, you go back and watch it, And I love it, and it's got a lot of darkness to it, and that's something I've been wanting from this new era. But it also has a lot of comedy and a lot of levity to it as well. That's not something that wasn't, that's something that was very present in the first era as well, the burping bin, Cassandra, that kind of thing. So, it's a difficult one. I do think that the reactions, I think everyone's a bit more chill in universe with aliens existing now. Like Ruby took it relatively in her stride, and even Verada, Belinda, while she does say, I'll tell my family, oh my god, there's still an element of she's just going along with it. I think I'd like to see some more horror, or some more scared reactions from people. How would you feel about the Daleks returning in the finale? I have a feeling they're coming back with Mrs. Flood. I don't know. I don't think they are coming back this series. I do want Ncuti to face them. I want him to face them loads. I just don't know whether it'll be this year. Thank you to Thomas Jerome again for the 5,500 Chilean pesos. We need an episode in Polari then. Wait, where's Polari? Where's Polari? Is that somewhere that I'm not aware of? You might have to elaborate on that. But thank you as well to Sam Yates. Thank you very much for all the super chats. For the £4.99 super chat. Did you see the interview for Fangirlish, where Ncuti says Classic Who fans will be very happy with this series? It got me buzzing. Yes, I did. I'll have to see if I can get it up later, but yes, I did. I did see that. And it looks very good. I'm going to try not to make you laugh, Mr. Rigading. I won't, I promise. Are you excited for the new Mario Kart? Yes, very much so. Very much so. I'm very excited for the Switch too. I'm very, very excited for it. It's the first console I've pre-ordered, and I'll be getting it on release, which is kind of insane. Mr. Rigading, I'm glad you're here, Mr. Rigading. Big fan of your cartoons. Say hello to Sunshine Sally for me. Are there any doctors you have not been pictured with? Look at your wall. Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't got Peter, which is a shame because I really want to get Peter. But he doesn't do that many conventions these days. And I also haven't got Jodie yet, because I haven't been to a Jodie one. And Tom as well. I did enter the thing that there was recently for the Tom Baker meet and greet, but I didn't get tickets, unfortunately, which is a shame. But that Tom is one that I really want to meet as soon as possible, for sure. If I miss a couple of super chats, don't take it as anything. It'll just be because I'm reading this article. So if it takes me a second, I will get to all the super chats when you do them. Don't worry. I'm just gonna keep an eye on this. So this came out, and I wanted to cover it because it kind of lends credence to the theories going around. And this was kind of something that had been speculated for a while. I'd seen a lot of speculation about this. A LUX episode to feature actors playing Doctor Who fans. According to the description of contents in Doctor Who magazine, 3 actors will portray Doctor Who fans in what must be a very meta scene in the second episode, LUX. The magazine will include a chat with Bronte Barb, Samir Arian, and Steph Lacey, who play Doctor Who fans Lizzie, Hassan and Robin as they record behind-the-scenes episodes. With Mrs. Flood breaking the fourth wall to talk to the audience, a cartoon character emerging from the cinema, and the Doctor and Belinda transformed into cartoon form, it seems anything is possible in the universe. It will be fun to see how it's played out. So yeah, this kind of seems to at least be giving credence to the idea of the Doctor slowly becoming aware he's in a show. I don't know whether this is just going to be a thing for this episode, or whether it's going to be representative of a broader narrative throughout the series. But I've seen some mixed reactions to it. I personally am game for it, provided as long as there's some kind of in-universe explanation. I think I would prefer it if he was in a TV show in this series, maybe down to some alien influence, not that he knew the whole time. I think that would kind of ruin it. Well, not ruin it, but I think it could. I think you run the risk of really cheapening the show if you do something like that. And obviously, I've also seen some discourse around betraying Doctor Who fans themselves. I've seen some people kind of say, will that be cringe? I saw some people even speculate that I was going to be one of the Doctor Who fans, and I hope that this is evidence that I'm not, because last I checked, I wasn't any of these people. I also saw people speculating that about Confused Adipose as well, which is very funny. It's very funny because people say that, and then you look at this, it's like, I don't think of any of these people. Unless I regenerate between now and then, or have regenerated since then, since they would have filmed this, then maybe, but Mrs. Flood may be the Rani. It's possible, but I don't know, I kind of want it to be someone more out there than that. Harry's would never be a Doctor Who fan. True. Doctor Who, what's that? Ugh, gross. No, I'm joking. If you could be in any episode of New Who, which one would you be in and why? Okay, so if I could be in any episode that already exists, which one would I be in? That's a good question. Ooh. I don't know. Something like Stolen Earth and Journey's End would probably be the most fun, just because of how large and ambitious it is. You'd see Davros, you'd see all the Daleks. Another part of me thinks maybe be at the first episode. If I could travel to any point. Do you think the Fugitive will appear in the series like the leaks say? I think that's certainly a possibility. Yeah, I'm definitely not ruling that out. The reason I think that's more likely is because of Jo Martin's comments, to be honest. She definitely gives me the vibe of someone who is going to be in it to a certain degree. So yeah, I personally am of the belief that that's happening. Oh, it went away. What returning villain do you most want to see for the WoW? I mean, I feel like there's one that I'm pretty confident that it is, that I've mentioned a couple of times. I saw Joe, Confused Adipose, do a video on it maybe being the Flood, which would be interesting, and it could kind of tie into Mrs. Flood, which would certainly be a good choice, and I wouldn't mind that at all. The lack of any mention of Regen in the Series 1... and what we've seen of Season 2 baffles me and makes me feel like the plan to make it even more impactful if it is the surprise in reality. Well, I agree. I mean, if there is a surprise regeneration, then, I mean, they've wanted to do that for years. Russell said that he wanted, I believe it was the Christopher Eccleston regeneration into David Tennant to be a surprise, but of course it leaked in the press. So, it'd be cool. Confused Adipose in the chat. Hello, mate. How you doing? Tharies, do you believe that we're in Lux? I keep getting comments saying we are, so we must be. I guess we are. I guess that we're these three people. That's us, right? We look like that. That's me. That's you. And I don't know who that is. Someone else. Maybe someone else on our podcast, which you should go and check out. Thank you to Wendy Evans for the £2 super chat. Very much appreciated. If you're the Rani, would you still want to wear shoulder pads? Absolutely. You can't have the Rani without the shoulder pads. Thank you. Yeah, thank you to Wendy for the £2. Very much appreciate that. Definitely think she's the Rani. Hope RTD does her justice. It definitely, I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't mind it if she was. I just that's kind of who I assumed she was from the beginning, so I kind of want it to be, less predictable than that, but it probably will be. I don't know, maybe it won't. I'm afraid the show will be shut down forever. Do you think there's any chances of that happening? Forever? I mean, forever's a long time. Forever is a very long time. I don't think it'll be gone forever. I do think we're probably in for a gap next year. I think that's probably inevitable no matter what happens. I don't think the show will be cancelled. Even, with lower viewing figures, it's still a money printer for the BBC. I think we probably will be in for a gap year, but we've been through gap years before. you know, if you've been part of this channel for a while, you know. I mean, 2019 was absolutely dead. Obviously, before I was doing YouTube, there was 2016, and even 2022 and 2023, we only had specials those years. So, it wouldn't even be that weird. Theories, I got a math for you. 6 times 3, 18. There you go. Quick maths. Nice. I'm not very good at maths, so don't send me more complicated questions than that. I can just about do times tables. That's you know, we'll leave it at that to maybe look like I know what, you know, I look smart. After hearing about the fan trio leaked, I was hoping that theories and other YouTubers would be included. Yeah, I saw people speculating that. I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no. Do you think the fans thing will cause massive discourse? Probably, yes. But then again, so does everything. So, like, I've seen some people kind of say that maybe it'll come off as, like, patronising. And I kind of get that, but another part of me is like, Doctor Who fans can sometimes be annoying. So, I don't really blame them for doing a little bit of a joke. As long as it's a joke in good faith, I think that's fine. Thank you to itskai23_ for the, or 23_ for the £1.99 super chat. I'm excited for the second episode. Me too. I think what's made me more excited is Robot Revolution being a solid foundation. Like, I'm not going to say it's the best episode in the world or anything like that. But it's certainly an episode that, like, provides a solid foundation for a series. And with all the hugely positive reviews, you know, I did a video covering all the reviews of Lux from the media outlets. Like, I'm very, should we say optimistic for this episode? I don't know whether you've already noticed this, but did you notice in the new Lux teaser that the Doctor's wording towards Mr. Ring-a-Ding is similar to how he refers to the toy maker when talking with Maestro? In what way? I definitely think he's skeptical of him. Lux excites me since Agents of Fandom gave Robot Revolution a 3 out of 5, but they gave Lux a 4.5. Yeah, and I think that's probably a fair rating for Robot Revolution, to be fair. I mean, I don't tend to do numbered ratings, just because I think that everyone's, like, scales are so wildly different. If I had to give Robot Revolution a number, I think I did in the podcast I did with Joe, I think I gave it about 7.5. Like, it's a good, solid opener, you know? It's nothing that's going to blow your mind, but it's fun, and it's got a decent plot, and I think it introduces Belinda very well, which is what an opener needs to do, above anything else, so... Me and my GF really enjoyed the Robot Revolution. At this stage, I'm really hoping that the show goes out on a high, no matter how long it's gone for. I don't think it's going to be gone as long as some people are suggesting, but I do agree with that. Chances of Well being the best of the season. I mean, it is the horror-focused one, and my previous favourite of this entire era, you know, since Russell came back, is Wild Yonder. So if they can do something of that flavour, I would very much be a very happy bunny, indeed. And it definitely could be. I've always kind of said that I've kind of felt that Gatwin needs his Wild Blue Yonder, if that makes any sense. Like, he needs just a tight 45-minute, like, base under siege sort of corridors, and, like, you know, a lot of time to, like, introspect with him as a character and kind of slow down a bit. I think that will really help, and I'm hoping that's what we get with The Well. The funny thing is, with the whole, like, Doctor Who being cancelled thing, is, like, I don't think it will. But if it is, I'm out of a job, so I'm right there with you. Thing is, I would cover other, like, franchises, but there's no other franchise that I can really, like, talk about to the same length as Doctor Who. Because, like, Marvel I was really into for a good few years there, but my interest has kind of waned, although I will say the Fantastic Four look good. DC's a similar situation, you know, I mean, I think that the new Superman looks good, but they've been on the rocks for a couple of years. Star Wars, I never know what's going on with that anymore. They seem to announce new projects and then they get cancelled or shelved or whatever. So, Yeah, I mean, the only other, like, franchise that I probably could talk about to the degree of this, to the point where I could base a channel around it, would be something like Nintendo, I guess. But, I don't know, I feel like that's already a very crowded market. Tharies, would you switch to Nintendo content? I don't think I'd switch. I'd probably do it on another channel. Hello, Toast Gaming. Docky Forever, I agree. I haven't actually caught up on Daredevil. I need to do that. That's something that's on my list. I also love this is not franchise, but I was watching The Apprentice week to week, and now that's over. I don't know whether anyone else still watches it, but I do. I wanted to cover this comment because I saw it getting a lot of play. So we've got to do a serious bit now. Doctor Who bots hits back at wokeness criticisms. This was during the BBC Radio 2 Doctor Who 20 years thing, I think. The long-running BBC Sci-Fi show returned last week with Ncuti Gatwa reprising his role as the Doctor alongside newcomer Varada Sethu as the latest companion, marking the first time the TARDIS team has been composed of non-white actors. See, this is the thing, you don't see these mistakes in an edited video, but in a live video, you see them. Davis told BBC Radio 2, someone always brings up matters of diversity, and there are online warriors accusing us of diversity and wokeness, and involving messages and issues. And I have no time for this. I don't have a second to bear it, because what you might call diversity, I just call an open door. Asked on Radio 2's Doctor Who 20 Secrets from 20 Years if he writes such themes into the show constantly, the Welshman replied, I don't even know if it's conscious, that's life, and I think that's the only way to write. Davis, who also wrote acclaimed dramas It's Sin, Queer as Folk, added that he felt it was harder to write using a narrow window of references. Why limit yourself? Why breathe in the exhaust fumes? Why be toxic? Come over here where the life and light and air and sound is. And then Sethu made similar comments, which we've covered before, saying, you know, obviously, that if it's being accused of being woke, it's probably on the right track. And then there's a final comment, which was also in the Radio Times, where Gatwa said he longs for the day where having a non-white actor in the role is not a big deal. And I agree, and I hope it is one day. But until that point, we have to live in this depressing world where whenever something like this gets brought out, you know, you've got people decrying it and stuff. But I agree. I think like all that it's doing by having more diverse casts is allowing for more unique stories to be told. I mean, one of my most excited episodes this year is The Story in the Engine, episode 5, which is going to be based around, like, it seems like African mythology, which I know very little about, you know, and I think that's something that's really good about having other cultures represented. If you learn things, you know, I love learning about history, I love learning about cultures, and that's what Doctor Who has always done. So the way I see it, you just allow for more stories at the end. And then it does end with there have been unconfirmed reports in recent weeks that Gatwa is set to leave and that the show may be facing the axe. The BBC has said any decision on the new series would be made after the current series ends. It's interesting that even the BBC themselves are acknowledging this in their articles. It's notable that they said a decision would be made after this current series ends. Part of me wonders how soon we can expect like an answer once this series ends. You know, is it going to be immediate? Is it going to be a month after? Is it going to be, 2 months, a year? Like, I don't know. Hey Tharis, have you seen Channel Pup's latest video on Doctor Who? Yes, I have. It's very good. There we go. It looked like it was frozen, the subscriber county thing. I think it's okay. Yes, I have. It's very good. There's some, like, I agree in most of the points, I think. I mean, there's some points I don't agree with, but I think it's a very well-made video, and I think it makes some very good points. Go back to making Jake Paul videos. That era was crazy. He calls Mr. Rigadig a living cartoon. He says the Toymaker is a living game. Oh, yes, I did see someone point that out. Yeah. So maybe he's part of the Pantheon, or at least, like, you know, maybe a descendant of the Toymaker. That's what I'd hope so. If Doctor Who ever collaborated with another TV show, what would it be? See, people say, I always want, you know, obviously, like, the obvious one would be something like Star Trek, right? That would be the obvious one you'd go to. In terms of crossovers I'd want, I think there's a lot of the ones I'd want, they definitely would never be able to do, like The Boys. Wait, what else could they cross over with? I don't really know. Corrie, EastEnders. They've done EastEnders. We've had that. Had that a couple times. Will you feel sad if 15 regens in Reality War? Yeah, I think I will. He's really been growing on me these last, couple of stories. I really have been liking seeing some of his darker edges. That's something I always love seeing in a Doctor, and I do think that he's been improving week to week. Since Graham Norton is both in Doctor Who last episode Universe Song Contest and on the same night as Eurovision, there is going to be a big surprise during the show. He's in a TV show. Oh, you mean they could reveal that he's in a show on the night of Eurovision? Ooh, that's an interesting idea. Ooh, I like that. Stranger Things, maybe? Yeah, that could work. House MD. Yeah, Breaking Bad. I've always thought a Doctor Who episode based around like a Dragon's Den type thing would be really fun. Like alien investors. I think that'd be really fun. I don't know what you do with it. Just have a bunch of wacky alien inventions, and maybe the TARDIS gets sold as like part of a business pitch or something. I think that'd be really funny. I don't know, but I just love Dragon's Den. I've been watching a lot of Dragon's Den clips. I have like this fascination with like businesses. I just find them really interesting. A Doctor Who comic relief sketch would be great. Oh, Total Wipeout Ninja Warrior. Oh, Total Wipeout. That's a blast from the past. It's a shame they haven't brought that back. They brought Big Brother back, but not that. It's mad. Actually, I was looking recently at like the viewing figures for that. Big Brother does not juice as much as I thought it did. I don't keep up with viewing figures for like most other shows other than Doctor Who, which is funny really, because it kind of shows that Doctor Who only really is the only show that really gets treated this way when it comes to viewing figures. But Big Brother does not juice as much as I remember. I remember that being a big deal, and now it's getting like way less than Doctor Who is, which I just think is really interesting. But no one ever says that Big Brother went woke, so Doctor Who's Russell T Davies responds to fans' complaints about Ncuti Gatwa. This is in reference to the crying. So he was actually asked directly in an interview with TV Line. Davies has pushed back against the idea in a new interview with TV Line, confirming that Doctor teary moments were a personal choice by Gatwa during his performance, and the screenwriter backs it to the hilt. I remember the first time Ncuti did it, which is in Joy to the World. He thought Ruby had vanished, been erased from time and space, which was astonishing, and he turned around in studio and gave us a performance which was absolutely spellbinding, recalls Davies. You don't tell an actor to cry or not to cry. Not an actor of that stature, absolutely not. He continued, it's like you wouldn't tell anyone to laugh or not laugh. It's a beautiful thing that he does, and it's a completely new thing for the Doctor. That opens doorways into new experiences. Davies went on to say that the Doctor's broader range of emotions allow for stories that fans haven't seen before, taking issue with those calling for something new while complaining about these very additions. He concluded, I'm just here to watch and thank my lucky stars that I get to share in a princely performance like that. What an actor, amazing. So a couple of interesting things here. I think it's interesting that it was Gatwa's decision, it was a conscious decision he made that Russell T Davies backed, not something that Russell T Davies himself was writing in. I do think that there is more to emotional complexity than just have him cry. Equally, I will say, in its defence, I think a lot of the times he does cry feel justified. It's just the regularity of it that kind of, I think, cheapens the narrative impact. I do get his point, though, to a certain degree, about people complaining about wanting new things, and then the show is different, and then people are like, well, I don't like that. That is notable. Because a lot of people don't leaning more into the fantasy and the god elements and stuff, which is fair enough. But that is different from his first era. But yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty mixed on the crying thing. On the one hand, I respect it as a choice. On the other hand, I just think its regularity just cheapens some moments, personally. Thank you to Chandler Bing for the £4.99. Theory, Polish is secretly a Time Lord that has been pulling the strings on reality all this time. Love the content, Darius, keep it up. Now, Polish is innocent, man. That guy is innocent. That you can't accuse Polish like that. Great guy. We love Polish. That was great. In fact, fun fact, my mum is actually watching Robot Revolution tonight. She's catching up for tomorrow because she hadn't seen it yet. So I want to see what she thinks of it. Have I got a message from her yet? She said she'd message me if when she'd watched it. I don't think she's messaged me yet, which probably means she's still in the shower. But she said she'd watch it tonight because it's on tomorrow, and she's been trying to keep up. The date they can't return to is May 24th. Yeah, that is true. Which is also the date of the penultimate episode, I believe. So, very interesting. It all seems to come to a head. I want cold, angry, calculated she that we haven't really seen in a Doctor since Capaldi. I think we'll get bits of that. I mean, I certainly think that that's going to be something we see more of. At least I hope so. But I also don't mind him showing a bit more emotion. It's an interesting one. I don't think I'd want every Doctor to be like that, but I think doing it as a new thing is fine. If he didn't cry in every episode, scenes like the beginning of Empire Death, where he breaks down after everything dies, would hit way harder in my opinion. I agree. I completely agree with that. Yeah. No, I agree. Do you think RTD will cook this year compared to last season? I have a good feeling about the season. I mean, the thing is, like, season 1's a really interesting case where I think a lot of its individual stories are good, but as like a whole, it doesn't quite come together. Does that make sense? Like, I love Boom, 73 Yards to Dalton Bubble. I think that run of 3 episodes is really solid. I think the opening episode, Space Babies, and the conclusion, obviously Empire Death and Legendary Sunday, are the weakest parts, which sucks, because those are also the parts that leave the most lasting impression on people. But like with season 2, I've always had a good feeling. It's darker in tone, which is something I wanted. We've got a companion who is nowhere near as kind of chummy with the Doctor, which was my other big issues with season 1. Is I think that Ruby was way too they were too friendly too quickly. I like that there's that bit of tension. It makes for much more interesting TV when there's more tension in a dynamic. So yeah. I'm fairly confident for this series. I think if this next episode delivers, I think we'll be in for a good series, because that'll be 2 episodes. That'll be 2 for 2, and then I think the Well they're gonna smash. I think it's a mining colony in the far future where everything goes wrong. Like, that's perfect, Doctor Who. That's the thing. Like, every episode looks like it has potential. The only thing I'm really concerned for, to be honest, is the finale. And the only reason I'm concerned for that is because last year, I kind of felt the finale was lacking. But at the same time, I'll be cautiously optimistic. Yeah, there was also this interview with Russell T Davies that I thought was really interesting. Wait, no, that's the wrong tweet. Hold on. I got the wrong thing up. There we go. So I actually saw this. This was on Collider, but Jamie at Madman Not a Box posted it. But he says this about the finale, and which I find really interesting.
We have such a laugh together that it very quickly escalated into what
He's
is now
talking about Anita Dobson, by the way, here for context.
Flood. And I mean, she very much revealed herself at the end of the last series, standing on a rooftop in the snow with a parasol and a white fur coat and a suitcase, saying she was going to bring absolute terror to the Doctor. So I don't know why anyone was remotely surprised that she's back. It's a very clear statement of intent, and I can absolutely tell you that all is revealed. It's a secret that we don't keep going. Some secrets you keep going for years. This one was like gunpowder. It's just, once we started to roll with it, we love it. So you'll see a lot more of her. And in the finale, she's absolutely centre stage. She's amazing.
That is so much fun. I cannot wait. Just to wrap up here, I know got a lot of super exciting things to look forward to this season. Can you pinpoint something specific that you're very excited for people to see?
I am very excited by episode. I'm very excited by the finale, obviously, and that's got some visuals which we've never done before. Some really extraordinary work. But I'm very excited by episode 6, which kind of looks like it's a laugh. It's the Interstellar Song Contest, and here in Europe we have the Eurovision Song Contest, which is a very big deal. It has well over 100 million viewers, that thing. It's enormous. So it's an outer space version of that. That episode kind of looks like it's going to be a laugh and then turns much tougher than you'd ever dream it's going to be, and has really astonishing stuff for Shooty as well, and pushes him and reveals things about him that are extraordinary. So just when you think you're settling back for a laugh in that one, you are pushed right to the limit. So I'm very pleased with that one.
So yeah, very interesting. The thing that, obviously I'm excited is the fact that, we're going to see sides to this Doctor we've not seen. But also, I said this in, I think it was the Radio Times preview of episode 6. He kind of said this whole thing about Interstellar Song Contest looking like a fun lark. They're off to a song contest, a space song contest, space Eurovision. But it's a lot darker than they think it is, than it appears to be, which is something that I'm really glad about as well. So yeah, no, I think everything's sounding very good. I would love to interview Russell, by the way. He just has such an infectious enthusiasm about everything. Even if, no offense to you, Russell, wasn't a big fan of Empire of Death last year, I think we all know that. I still have a lot of respect for the guy, and I think that he's just a nice guy. I don't know what I'm saying, really. I see a lot of people get weirdly personal about showrunners, and I just don't get it. Criticize the work all you want, I certainly will. But I don't really know why we have to be personal about it. But that's just my thought on that. I don't know whether anyone agrees with me, but yeah, there we are. The way he says finale bugs me too much. Finale! Yes, the finale. I don't know why he says it like that. I don't know why he says it like that either. Darius, do you reckon episode 6 could be way darker? I kind of hope so, yeah. I kind of hope so. Wouldn't put it past RTD to make Graham Norton the next Doctor. Yeah, no, probably. We need Brian May and Doctor Who. Didn't he do a crossover thing years ago? There was the Science of Doctor Who documentary thing he did, I think. Episode 6 got to have a Utopia moment. Ooh! It could actually. That's not a bad shout. If it's possible. Do you think 16 will be male or female? I don't know. I actually don't mind either way at this point. I'm kind of like, you know what? Whatever they want to do now, I'm here for. I was reading those emojis and I was like, what does it mean? It means ring a ding. Nice. Darius, can you categorically say you're not in tomorrow's episode? I can categorically say I'm not in tomorrow's episode. And I mean, people won't believe me until tomorrow, but I'm genuinely not. I don't think Russell has anything against casting a female Doctor, I don't think. I think he just saw Shooty and was like, yeah, I think he's good. And you know what? That's fair enough. Tharies is Russell. I mean, we are both Welsh. Speaking of being Russell, have you seen... Let me get these up. I want to shout it out because it's so funny. 1 second. Let me get them up. I'm trying to remember who does them now. Here we go. So there's this guy on Twitter called... it's the About Time podcast on Twitter, and he does these impressions of Russell T Davies, and they're so funny. They're so good. I'm going to play some for you now. Shout outs to him. I'm going to follow him now, actually. I'm going to do that right now. Can't believe I wasn't already. There we go. But I saw this guy, and I was just like, this is so good.
Faithful viewer, I'm Russell T. Davis. I'm the executive producer of Doctor Who. I'm also the head writer. I'm what they call the showrunner. That's the person who is in charge of literally everything. That's literally my job. I mean, it's mad, totally mad. I haven't slept since about 2004. But here we are about to launch a brand new series starring Ncuti Gatwa, the marvellous, fantastic Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor. Beautiful, beautiful man.
Oh, it's so good. There's a great one as well that's, let me get it up. It's the one of him meeting someone on Grindr. Let me find it. There's this one as well, which is very good. Let me find the one that made me laugh the most. Where is it? There it is. Here it is.
Is Russell PLV, your grinder hookup is Russell T. Davis.
Hello, faithful hookup. I am Russell T. Davis, the executive producer of Doctor Who. And
absolute cinema. Take a bow, my friend. It's absolutely wonderful. See, things like this, where we can all joke, is what I'm here for, you know? As long as it's not personal, as long as it's funny. It's so good. Do you ever actually like to take the role after shooting? Off the top of my head, not really. But I always thought Michael Sheen would be great. I know it's a bit of a basic pick. But not really at the moment. I kind of hope they go for someone unknown after shooting. Especially how busy he is. I kind of think we need a lesser known actor. Apparently he's Scouse, genuinely good impression. I didn't know that. But it's very funny. It's very good. It's just the bit where he goes, I'm the executive producer of Doctor Who, and tonight, the man of your dreams. It's so funny. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, I think an older woman would be interesting, actually. Like, kind of like Hartnell, but as a woman. Don't imagine that. But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, it is funny that we're having an episode called Lux when we just had Flux, and there's also a Flux, like, board game. Like, there's a lot of very similar titles. It's going to make searches a nightmare. He nailed that TD's accent well. He really did. There's, you know what? Screw it. Should we put on the last one as well? Wait, let me get it up. There's one more that's him on the phone to the casting director. let me get it up. Where is it? There it is. All right.
Russell T. Davies. Hello, faithful casting director. Yes, it's Russell T. Davies here, executive producer of Doctor Who. I've had a look at the headshots you sent me. They're all absolutely marvellous. But I had some thoughts. I thought for episode 1, you see on page 1, there's a very, very sexy man. Yes, I thought we could cast him in episode 1. For episode 2, there's another sexy man on page 2 I thought we could have a look at. For number 3, there's a sexy man that I'm sure we could fit in somewhere. I'm sure I could fit him in somewhere anyway. And finally, I was talking to a twink last night on Grindr, and I may have promised him he could be the next Doctor.
Cinema, peak. Please don't stop doing these, mate. Please do. I want one of these all the time. They're so funny. They're so good. Oh, they make me laugh. Oh, they're good. I didn't break the deal, Mr. Rigading. I said, don't make you laugh. I laughed, but not you. So technically, we're all good. I followed the rules of the game, my friend. Do you think Lux may do better in the overnights? I think that's possible. I'm not going to completely bank on it. Oh, this is live. I've been watching for 30 minutes thinking this was pre-recorded. I'm so dumb. No, it's live. Hello. I'm interacting with you right now. Let me read that out. Manera Pavita. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. Reminds me a little bit. It is a bit Matt Lucas, isn't it? It's great. It's great. I want him on one of these videos. I'll have to see if I can get in touch and be like, do you want to be Russell in one of my videos? That'd be very fun. Maybe it's an April Fool's Day gag or something. Yeah, there's definitely something in that for sure. For sure. Yeah, there's like a Doctor Who Flux board game that came up before the series, but it's not based around Doctor Who Flux. Let me get it up. Wait. I feel like I'm the only... Because whenever I would search Doctor Who Flux, right, it would also always come up with this game. And I was like, this is just annoying because it's not what I'm looking for. But it's Flux with 2 X's. Don't know why I'm in all caps for some reason, but yeah, this thing. See, look at it. It's the Doctor Who Flux board game. 2 to 6 players. There's different doctors. See? Yeah, I knew I wasn't going crazy. There you go. So, there was a board game before there was a series, so take of that what you will. Terry's trying to convince chat this is live and not pre-recorded. Yeah, no, I'm actually just like, you know, I'm coming out the screen actually. I'm doing a Mr. Rigging. I'm coming out the screen. Terry's, are you in Lux? I'm not, and you'll find out tomorrow. People think I'm in Lux. I'm not in Lux. Oh yeah, there was another quote I wanted to bring up as well with regards to Ncuti Gatwa's costumes. I'm going to bring that up as well because that was interesting. Let me find it. Oh my god. Sorry, I just saw some fan art that I want to shout out. Sorry, I just saw this from Sea Devil Lagoon on Twitter. Look at that! Oh, the fan art for this episode is going to be so cool. I love looking at fan art, by the way. If you ever send me fan art, I will definitely retweet it. I'll probably like it on Instagram, but obviously, I don't know what else you do with Instagram, but I'll like it. But I'll retweet it if it's on Twitter for sure. I should use Instagram more, really. I'm not like a picture-taking guy. I don't really take pictures. Unless I'm at like a convention or something. What was the thing I was looking for? Oh, yeah. It was the, where was it? Let me find it. You know, I've actually quite enjoyed doing it live. It's quite chill. Because I'm always worried about, like, the edits in, you know, in a YouTube video. You know, I try and mitigate my mistakes for the edit with those. You know, a bit like William Hartnell. You know how in, like, the first Doctor era, they only had a certain number of cuts? So, like, you know, sometimes they just flubbed the lines and they just kept it in. Well, I'm very conscious of, like, trying not to flub what I'm trying to say so that I don't have to edit as much. But with live, you can just, you know, it doesn't matter. What you see is what you get. Let me find... Where is the quote? There was a quote about Ncuti Gatwa's costumes and why there isn't, like, a definitive one. Where was it? I feel like I'm going insane. Did I just make this quote up? I mean, it's possible. Can't find it. I'll probably find it later, and it'll annoy me. If any of you know what I'm talking about, let me know. Season 3 filming when? I mean, I think we'll find out what's going on with that at the end of this series. I definitely think they had plans to film, because there was that one Graham Norton clip ages ago where it was cut out. Who do you prefer, Maestro or Mr. Ringading? I mean, it's hard to tell yet because we haven't seen Mr. Ringading, but I will say I think conceptually Mr. Ringading is cooler. But I liked Maestro last year. Next episode, 43 minutes, do you think that'll feel rushed? I mean, possibly. That is one thing that I don't love about the current era is I don't love that it's... Like, I don't love that they've kept the 45-minute thing. I think if we're getting 8 episodes, I'd like them to push them to an hour. Whether they can actually do that, I don't know. But I just kind of think that 45 just doesn't seem like long enough anymore. It never really was the first time round, but it's kind of mitigated by the fact that you had more two-parters. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Michael. I think 8 episodes would be fine if they were all an hour each. Thank you to Space Fluff Doctor Who Clips for the £1.99 super chat. Where's the iconic blue Adidas shirt, Mr. Theres? It is around. Actually, I saw it in the wash the other day. I'm going to have to ask for it specifically because I get so many comments being like, where's the shirt? And I'm like, I'll wear it. I've just been wearing other things. To be fair, I'm wearing a cool shirt today. It's the To Victory shirt, the World War II Dalek one from Victory of the Daleks. There you go. I probably wear a Doctor Who shirt tomorrow. I wear a lot of Doctor Who shirts. Where? I swear there was... it's gonna bother me so much. Ah, there it is. Found it. Found the quote. I don't actually know where it came from, but I'm taking it from Evie on Twitter. Found the quote I was looking for. There we go. I don't mind the... Okay, so here's the quote. All the variety has undoubtedly inspired cosplayers to run All the variety has undoubtedly inspired cosplayers to run wild, which excites Davis. If it's your hobby, then that's money all well spent. But there's also going to be that casual cosplayer, the kid who fancies being Doctor Who today, and that means now they can put on a pair of jeans and a duffel coat, run out the door in the middle of the rain, and say, I'm the Doctor, and I like that. Davis continued, it democratizes it. It means no one has ownership. It means you can put on any costume and say, I'm the Doctor today, because that's what he'd do. I do think that's a really nice reasoning, because I know some people are kind of sad that, like, Shooty doesn't have, like, a defining costume. For me, the defining one is the one that's on the action figures and the merchandise, the leather coat one. That's what I see as his, like, defining outfit. But I do get the idea of having him wear more casual clothes as a means for kids, particularly, to be able to dress as the Doctor more. I mean, Tennant said a very similar thing back when he was the Doctor. He said, you know, he wanted him to wear trainers so, you know, more kids could just be the Doctor, which, yeah. That's sort of like what Peter Capaldi did with the Sonic Sunglasses. Exactly, yeah. It's making it kind of, like, accessible so kids can be the Doctor without having to spend a bunch of money, which I do appreciate. I think I just wish that there was some kind of, like... I think I just wish there was a little bit more of a through line between his costumes, because as it is, they're all very different, which I like, but I guess I just wish that there was more of a theme across them, rather than kind of just all sorts. But equally, were Victory of the Dark your favourite story? Yeah, it's funny really, because, like, it's not a great story, but it has such potential, and I love, like, the idea of, like, it's the Daleks and World War II. How do you make that boring? But they somehow manage it. I don't know how. What do you think will be the best episode? My money's on either the well or the story in the engine. One of those two. I do think it's a bit overhated. I also think the paradigm are overhated as well. I think that it's a cool design. I'll die on that hill. I think the design's cool. Darius, sorry to ask again, but do you think there's any significance to Mr. Ring-a-Ding being made of light, but still casting a shadow? Good question. I don't know. Vashta Narada confirmed? No, I don't think it's that. I don't know, maybe. Potentially could be. I don't know what, but it's possible. I have no idea. You could be onto something there. That could be ultimately how they defeat him, or part of it. As long as they don't defeat him with catch, I'm good. To be fair, I like the giggle. I just kind of think that's a bit anticlimactic. I think that's one of the reasons why people don't gel with the god concept as much as, like, others. Because I really like the gods in concept. I've always thought, ever since the Doctor has become a more powerful and important being in the Doctor Who universe, the idea of delving more into the kind of god characters of Doctor Who makes a lot of sense to me. I think the issue is just how easily they're defeated. You know, Sutekh was dragged by a leash. You know, I just think they've got to have more ceremonial deaths. They released a soundtrack. The release soundtrack is amazing, but I'm pretty sure it's the Nail and Confident 50s movie. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put a poll in chat. Why can I sign in? I can. I've got to... Hold on 1 second. I can sign into the OBS, and then I can actually type in chat from OBS without having to go into Chrome. 1 second. Typing SMR. Oh, I've got to do an I'm not a robot. Point at all the fire hydrants. I hate these things. Also, do you ever like get a complex of like, what if I answer it wrong? Am I a robot? I mean, they're all fire hydrants. That's a fire hydrant. That's a fire hydrant. I don't think that's a fire hydrant. Right, now I gotta enter my password. Alright, let me... Good thing I've not got my screen on. Otherwise... Ooh, security, right. What I'm basically doing, by the way, chat, is I'm saying a poll to see what everyone's thoughts are on Robot Revolution before we go into Lux. That's what I'm going to try and do. There we go. I think that should do it. It's saying wrong password. I don't think it is. Wait. Okay, well, it's just saying my password's wrong when it isn't. So, oh wait, that's why. I'm dumb. That's why. I'm stupid. I forgot the numbers in my email. God damn it. Okay. Sorry. Tech support, everybody. Alright, let me... Two-step authentication. You know, I really wish that signing into things was easier. You know what I mean? Why has it got to be a thing? Okay, there we go. I think I've done it. In theory. There we go. Alright. So now I can do... how do I do a poll? Aha! Poll. Alright. Robot Revolution. Robot Revolution. We'll do... Great. Actually, yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll do... yeah, we'll do great, good, mid, and bad. 150 people listening to you log in. Look, it's a very good login, alright? It's a very good... great. You wouldn't get this on Mr. TARDIS, I'll tell you that. Mid... and... bad. There we go, right, start the poll. The poll is begin. I hope this works. There we go. Forehead cam. There. We're just at 65 likes. We need 4 more. We do. Also, subscribe if you're new. That'd be appreciated. It's actually gone down since the stream started. Maybe this on-screen indicator wasn't such a great idea. Okay. What's the consensus? We got 37 votes just now. 38. Thary's forehead can one-shot see that. Thary's or Mike Hawk. You can't make me choose between my heads. That's like making me choose between my children. I can't do that. 44 votes. Okay, so the overwhelming consensus seems to be good from what I'm seeing. Make sure you get your votes in. 46 votes. You're amazing. Well, thank you, Timmy the Egg. Yeah, I actually don't know. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I did this once. I'll tell you what I'll do. Whoever does the highest super chat tonight can name the Tomb of the Cyberman head, because I haven't got a name for him. Dennis, Mike Hawk is back there. You got Sutek. I mean, you can't really rename him. He's just kind of Sutek, you know. Same goes with Davros by here. This Cyberman doesn't have a name, so anyone who super chats, leave a name suggestion. There you go. Who wins in an arm wrestle, Thary's or adipose? Do you mean an actual adipose, or do you mean the confused adipose? Because realistically, I'm probably not winning if it's confused adipose. If it's an adipose, I reckon I could win. Then again, I don't know. I feel like I'd have more determination to win, but I don't think I would. I'm not going to pretend like I'm, I have the chance of winning. Terry's thoughts on all those leaks? Which ones? That could be anything. That could be anything. What does good mean? Because some people think good is 6. Some people think it's more than 8, which is quite different. I'd say great is 10, 9, 8. Good is 7 and 6. Mid, you're sort of in this like 5, 4 territory, I guess. And then like bad is anything below that. It's kind of the general... It's kind of what's in my head anyway. Remember the buttons, true. The top Cyberman definitely gives me Dave vibe. Yeah. He's actually one that I wanted for a while. He's technically a moon-based Cyberman. I wanted to get a tomb one, but the difference is the handles are clear on a tomb one. What's the stream really about? We've basically gone over all the news topics. I'm kind of just chilling. For me, it was 8 out of 10. So yeah, the overwhelming consensus seems to be good. At 58%, followed by great, followed by mid, followed by bad. I think I agree, broadly, with the chat. See, I found the cat death funny. I got a lot of flack for saying this on Twitter. I thought the cat death was funny. Not because a cat died, you know, but more because of the way the robot reacted with this, the cat is irrelevant. It's not my cat, the cat is still irrelevant. Like, that's just, that's some core Doctor Who comedy right there. I thought it was funny. Maybe I've just got a dark sense of humour, but, Wait, was the impression of the robot good? What else did they say? All hail Belinda Chandra, something like that. Got 2 GCSEs in 2 weeks, but it's okay because Darius is true. Best of luck, best of luck. I remember doing my GCSEs. I don't miss it. I don't miss it at all. Do you think a midnight sequel is a good idea? I think it depends. If they do it, it just depends on execution. It could be a good idea. It could be done awfully. It really just depends on how they do it, for me. We got about 76 votes in the poll. It looks like most of you who are still around have probably voted. Oh no, there's still 150 of you in it. I didn't realise how many of you still watching me just talk. I kind of thought the stream had died. No, there's still quite a few. Okay. Hello! Do you ever just have one of those moments where you're like, oh yeah, people watch these things? I don't know how you could call it. I don't know how you could call it up there with the greats. It's not bad, but it just didn't stand out in any way. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like what you're saying is kind of like good or mid, probably. I don't think they should ever show the Midnight Entity. No, I think that would ruin it. For sure. That would 100% be too far, in my opinion. Thari's Doctor in Distress goes hard. Yeah, I saw someone uploaded that from an ancient stream, and I need to do a redo one day. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll sing the Mr. Ring-a-Dig song for you now. Let me get it up. And someone can clip this. Right, hold on. Let me get it up. Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm Mr. Ring-a-Ding, I'll make your heart bell sing. Please don't make me laugh, just take my autograph. Now take my jokes, my lovely folks, 'cause I know just one thing. For I am he, oh yes, I'm Mr. Ring-a-Ding. There you go. Don't know what that was, little jig, but there you go. Darius needs a Grammy. I do. They should have cast me as Galinda, to be honest. Darius audition for the Intercell Song Contest. I want Doctor in Distress, but like Band-Aid, but for who she is. You know what? If all these cancellation rumours keep happening, then maybe that's what we'll have to do. You need a day job, I think. You're not... Yeah, probably right. I don't think Simon Cowell's going to be on the phone anytime soon. Now spread the rumour that you'll show up in episode 6 instead. It should become like a Where's Wally exercise, or like Where's Tharies. Wonder when you'll get cancelled. Hopefully never. I've done alright so far. I think I'll be okay. I mean, I don't even plan on doing anything that would be cancelable, other than give Doctor Who opinions on the internet, which in some corners of the internet is the worst thing someone can ever do. Is have opinions on BBC TV's Doctor Who. I think Belinda was a great upgrade from Ruby. I believe the chemistry between the Doctor and Belinda had way more dynamics. Not to say Ruby was bad, but I think Belinda was... I agree, yeah. Well, that's what it is. It's BBC TV's Doctor Who. How likely do you think we'll get any soundtrack releases? I hope that they happen, but at this point I've kind of lost all hope. Where's the Series 10 soundtrack, Murray? Where is it? I've seen people say this music must be regeneration music. Even if she was regenerating, I don't think he is. I don't think they would show that before broadcast. I agree. But then equally, stranger things have happened, so I'm not going to completely rule it out. It does sound vaguely regeneration-y. I think I've sang the Goblin song before, have I not? Yeah, no, the Reality War soundtrack does sound very good. Marigold lost the Series 10 soundtrack. Is that true, or is that just a guess? If he lost it, then fair enough. There's not much you can do about it. But where was the Season 1 soundtrack? Oh, we've had a super chat. Thank you to XX Dark Void XX for the £5 super chat. Thank you very much. Sorry, my throat just I had something in my throat there. Tharies, do you think when the Doctor is mentioned about hearing Belinda's name from someone, could have been from the Doctor himself or fugitive Doctor maybe? Yeah, I was actually gonna do a video on theories and mention this. Obviously, originally I kind of posited maybe Mrs. Flood told him in that previous video, but as people have pointed out, it's implied that it's a guy, so maybe not. My thinking is, and actually it's not my thinking, it's not my thinking at all. I will give you the theory of Josh Carr, because it's the theory I've seen, who, by the way, did a great podcast with Chris Chibnall. But he put out a theory that I really like. I might as well talk about it here. Let me get it up. Where is it? Where's the tweet I'm looking for? It's bothering me. I tell you what, ever since Musk took this place over, it's become so much more difficult to navigate. Ah, this is it. Found it. Prediction. This is from Josh Carr, by the way, so shout-outs to him. The Doctor, on the brink of regeneration at the end of the series, goes back and finds a younger version of himself to tell him to go and find Belinda. Big old bootstrap paradox. I love this idea. I think it's really cool. And I think if Ncuti is leaving, or at least, the show's going to go on pause for a while, I think that'd be a nice kind of full circle moment for sure. And it would be very similar to the unused Series 5 concept, where if David Tennant stayed, then he would have essentially regenerated at the start of the series, but then it would flash back to an earlier point before he regenerated. But in terms of the Fugitive, it could be the Fugitive. Rearrange the letters in Tharies and you get trashier. What's made out of trash? A bin. What looks like a bin? A Dalek. Daleks confirmed for the finale. I mean, look, you figured it out. Yeah, what is actually, I'll tell you what, how can you rearrange theories? Like, what words can you make out of it? You know, we'll figure out what villain I am. You should check under the sofa for the season 1 soundtrack, yeah, for sure. I have a similar theory, but mine doesn't involve regeneration. My theory is that 15 tells 15 who Belinda was through living through 2025. Yeah, enjoy to the world. No, I like that as well. I mean, you know, he does tell himself off, so him telling himself to go and find Belinda, that makes sense to me. I like that. How do you feel about 15 possibly being the only main Doctor bar 14 not to face the Daleks? I really want him to face the Daleks. I think he will somehow, but he needs to, definitely. I would be very sad if he didn't, especially because of how much he has said in every interview that he wants to fight them. Like, I would just be so sad. I really would. I'll move off of Josh Carr's tweet now. There we go. Too many episode titles starting with the. It's a weird bugbear for me. I've never really thought about it. The only thing I'll say is I'm not a big fan of like overly wordy episode titles. That's my only real gripe with episode titles, really. Or if they're too generic, I guess. Stephen Moffat said somewhere that he had to speak to Russell about what happens at the end of season 15 before writing Joy to the World. I wonder why he needs to know certain things. Maybe that's why. Maybe it ties back into him therapizing with himself, or maybe it's what people suggested, that, what was it? That Anita would maybe be a future companion, which I still think would be a very cool idea. The War Between the Land and the Sea. Very good title. Yeah, no, that one is just... That one is just so long and wordy. You're pre-ordering Switch 2, all that money. I know. To be honest, though, I haven't treated myself in a long time. And my kind of thinking was, it doesn't come out until June. So if I work really hard on this channel, then you know I'll be able to make up the difference with all these videos. And yeah, so I just felt like treating myself. And the thing is, once you get a video game system, to be fair, they normally last you like a good few years. Like, I've had my Switch 1 since Christmas 2017, so that's like 8 years. So I kind of think, you know, there's definitely worse forms of entertainment you can invest in. The Pyramid of the Other World. Actually, yeah, I mean, it's a bit wordy. It could be worse. One that always bothered me is like, it's not like a terrible title or anything, but like War of the Sontarans. I was kind of like, isn't every episode that they're in a War of the Sontarans? Isn't the war like their whole thing? But then again, I suppose, yeah, I don't know. Legend of the Sea Devils. I don't think the title is the issue with that episode. I did pre-order with Argos, yes. I pre-ordered my Switch 2 from Very. Super excited to play Mario Kart World. Me too. Me too. I'll see if... I'll tell you what, that would be awesome. Like, if for one of these streams, I'll put my Switch friend code out, and like we'll see if we can play Mario Kart. That'd be very fun. Wouldn't be very Doctor Who related, but there we go. I think I've covered most things that I wanted to cover. We did well, actually. Oh, also, today is David Tennant's birthday. I forgot about that. So happy birthday to David Tennant. You're a legend. We salute you, sir, on this fine day. Spin-off titles got leaked? They did? Where? I didn't see anything like that. World Enough and Time as a title? Yeah, me too. How old is he now? Good question. 54. So there you go. It's 54. I'm surprised they haven't done a tweet, actually. They always do a tweet for birthday. That's weird. Oh, nice. Nice, General Selgar. Nice. I'm sure he's watching. I'm sure he is. That'd be great if he was. He's definitely not. The funniest story I have, and this is actually something that I can confirm. Confused Octopus, he worked with Johnny Mathers, who was the actor behind what's the character's name called? What's the thing called in Flux that like has a planet inside of it? I can't think. Oh, the Passenger. That's it. He plays the Passenger. Shows how much I remember Flux. The Passenger. There we go. And he told him that apparently the crew on Flux, the cast and the crew, would watch mine and Joe's videos because we would theorize a lot of the time, see what we were getting right and what we were getting wrong. So that's, and like Swarm and Azure as well, which is just a funny little story I have. Tharies, I'm sorry, but I'm coming to steal all your merchandise. You'll have to go through me. Realistically, I probably wouldn't put up much of a fight, but, you know, in spirit I would. Out of 10, how excited for you for Lux? I'm going to give it an 8. You know, I've still got some reservations, but I think it looks really good and really fun. It's one of the episodes I'm most excited for. The reason I'm not putting it at 10, because then, you know, I'll get too excited. Because then, and you know, I gotta sleep. You know, I gotta sleep at some point tonight. Because I gotta be up at 7. Well, I'll be up at 7 to prepare to watch the episode at 8 and then get my reviews out and get everything else out. If they tweeted all the replies would be David to confirm. I don't think they would if you just said happy birthday, David. Which Doctor committed the most war crimes? You know what? You got me thinking. I mean, 7 immediately comes to mind. 13 is also up there because of the Flux. Although, to be fair, she didn't really start the Flux, but she did lead 3 species into it. I guess the War Doctor, you know, that's pretty... 11? Oh! Yeah, there was the whole thing with, like, Demons Run. Oh, that's a good point. I don't think 12. 15, I don't think is on the list either, really. 14, too short. Definitely not him. Yeah, Mad Theories, I don't know how you do it. I'll be fast asleep at 8 AM tomorrow. Listen, I'm dedicated. What can I say? I've made my bed, you know, metaphorically. I know what you people want. You want me here to talk about these, and war. Yeah, I think war is probably the most obvious one. You want me here talking about the episodes, and I will. 11 did the most, and 12 had to heal with it. Yeah, that's probably true. My war crime king. No. Did 10 do many war crimes? I don't think he did. I mean, there was like the whole thing with the family of blah blah. I don't know whether that's a war crime, whether that's just dodgy. You know, like it's definitely against the Geneva Convention. Will you be doing a reaction video for Lux 2? Probably, yes. I will say the last one didn't do like major numbers, but I think I will do it for this one just because I can imagine this one's going to be like there's going to be more to react to. So I will do one, but I can't guarantee that it's probably going to be like the last one where there's probably going to be a lot of stuff absent from it for the simple fact that it's pretty difficult to like react to BBC content because they claim all of it. Hello, Doctor Who Shorts. He did flood the baby Randolph. That's true. He did do that. It's actually quite hard. I think most of it would be New Who Doctors, to be fair. Your last reaction was a bit late, IMO. Probably why I didn't do too well reviews. Probably, but the thing is I had to cut it down from about 45 minutes down to something that they would actually let me post. Which is why the review always comes out first, because it's just easier to edit, because, you know, I don't have to worry about copyright. 6 wiped out the Verboids, that's true. And obviously 7, you know, with Scaro and all of that. The Daleks are a weird one, though, where he seems to think that, you know, they're fair game. Don't think that would hold up in court, though. What's your favourite season of Doctor Who? Mine is season 4, and favourite spin-off is Children of Earth. Children of Earth is fantastic. Favourite series, it goes between series 5 and series 4. At least new Who-wise. Classic Who, you're probably looking at season 25, I think. Editing is so fun. I'm not hurting it. You know, I would... Because the thing is, I know a lot of people love editing, and you know what? Like, that's their favourite part of making YouTube videos and making, like, content, and you know what? That's great. For me, I wish I could just, like, do a video and then it would magically be done, you know? Because I love the recording. I love this bit. I love the interacting with the camera and the audience and all of that stuff. It's why I think if I could ever, you know, do anything professionally, I'd love to do, like, presenting or something like that. Or, you know, something of that nature, because it's kind of what I enjoy doing. I don't, you know, hate editing or anything, you know. I'll definitely do it. And I've gotten better at it over time, but it's not my favourite thing in the world. I really hope Belinda sticks around, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I do kind of think that is one of the other issues with the 8-episode thing, is that, like, you don't get along with each companion. That is an issue. The BBC should definitely get you on a Doctor Who podcast show. Like, how has that not happened with you and Joe? I mean, I would love it. I mean, it's funny, they didn't bring back the podcast this year. I assume that's because it wasn't received overly well, and the views from what I saw were not there last series. I still think the way that they fix it, and, you know, this might, you know, like, seem harsh. I mean, obviously, nothing against the crew that were doing it last year. You know, I'm sure they're all lovely and stuff, but I think for something like that, like, realistically, it's only really going to appeal to Doctor Who fans anyway. So you kind of need Doctor Who fans in it, specifically ones that people like, or at least are aware of, to a certain degree. I think it's why it worked better with Crystal D and Gina Dawson and Tyrell Charles, is it? Like, that was probably a better lineup, because people knew, obviously, Crystal and Gina and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but I don't see it happening. Bro's trying to cast himself in a Doctor Who podcast. Hey, look, if you don't try, I want them to do the podcast how they did for the 60th. Yeah, no, I agree. You probably said it already, but who do you think Mrs. Flood is? I think she's like another god. I think she's like a new god. I think she's like the god of stories or something like that. Or the god of fiction, or I think there's something like that. I miss Russell's teasers of the next episode. True, that was the best bit. I kind of wish they just kept that bit, you know, like, just, we still get, like, Russell going, hello, this is the next episode. Also, what happened with the tease for last week on Doctor Who Unleashed? They just opened a door. Like, well, that's not a teaser at that point. That's just, you know, it's nothing. What are you doing? Oh, also, I've just seen some more fan art. So I just wanted to shout this out because I think it looks really, really good. This is from Lewis Grant Design over on Twitter, and they follow me, so I'm going to give that a retweet. Not because they follow me, but because the fan art's really good. Yeah, that's really good. Oh, roll up, it's BBC Doctor Who. Oh, look at that. It's got the whole, like, Looney Tunes kind of... Oh, I love fan art. It's one of my favourite parts of the fandom. It's just so fun. Oh, I wish I could draw. It's one of the things I wish I could do, but I can't very well, at least. But, like, look at these. Obviously, this is more Photoshop, I think, anyway, but still, it's just a lovely bit of art. I'll tell you what, I'll see if anyone sees any other fan art, feel free to tag me in the comments, because I will retweet if it's nice fan art, because I love fan art. I'm really excited to see animation fans react to Lux. Yeah, I mean, people seem very excited to react to it, particularly in the animation sphere, which is, which I think, yeah, would definitely, I'm definitely excited to see. Do you reckon, you know how, like, they get, like, lawyers to react to, like, legal scenes in, movies? Do you reckon they'll get, like, animators reacting to Lux? Do we think that the next time trailer for The Whale could include a particular score? Possibly. I think if we're on the same if we're on the same wavelength, yeah, possibly. Legal Eagle reacts to Doctor Who. That's what we need, Darius, you legend. Thank you. WTF, I went away for 40 minutes and Darius is still live in 2025. This is unprecedented. In this economy, a Darius live stream lasting more than an hour? That's crazy. I've just been having fun. I probably will head off in a little bit. Which guest star are you most looking forward to? Ooh, I mean, Graham Norton's funny, just for the fact that he's been, like, in it before, but unintentionally. Now he gets to be in it legitimately. He can't force his way in. Are you watching Lux at 8 AM? I am. Are there any good Doctor Who games? Officially, not really, but there are some great mods. I'll probably missed some comments. Which episode of Doctor Who would a lawyer react to? Trial of a Time Lord. Don't head off. I've been watching my Bad Take King. I've been putting off watching my Bad Take King. DW Fan 91. I don't know whether DW Fan 91 is a bad take king. I agree with some of his takes. He's a lovely guy, is DW Fan 91. I did a video with him last year. We should do that again. If you didn't do YouTube, would you be as into Doctor Who? Theories. I don't think I would, to be honest. No, I think I would still be just as into it, pretty much. I mean, there's chances. I mean, I probably would pay less attention to specific bits of news, probably, because that's part of my my whole thing. But no, it's always kind of been a bit of a fixation of mine. So I think the great thing is now I just don't get, I don't have to just yap off my family's ears about it and friends. Now I can yap off all of yours. That's the great thing about it. Corridor Crew needs to do one on LUX. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Imagine if they reference Graham's previous appearances in accidental appearances. Yeah, they should do that. They should do that. I think that'd be fun. They've got to do that. Introducing Graham Norton as the bastard. Imagine. Who chose the Unleash clip? The Chipolera marketing team? Yeah, good. That's a good one. Oh. Around the chip stuff mainly, but yes, he seems lovely. Also thought Space Babies was better than Robot Revolution. Did he? Okay, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. Time Shadow with the £2. Hey there, did you manage to see my email? Which email was it? You've signed it off with JW. Let me have a quick look. If I missed it, I apologise. I've just been incredibly busy the last sort of few days because of obviously... I'm not seeing it as of right now. Is it in my spam folder? Can't see it right now. If you send it again, I'll see if I can see it again in a sec. But I can't see it right now, unfortunately. Unless... Has anyone thought of any names for the Cybermen yet? I didn't see any. I saw one suggestion. But leave your suggestions. That'd be great. But thank you very much, Time Shadow, for the £2 super chat. I probably should live stream more, really. I do enjoy it. I always, get into, such a mode of, right, I gotta make videos. But then, I always forget how much I enjoy doing this side of it, too. So, I think what I'll probably do is try and do one of these now for, the next few weeks. As we head longer and longer into Season 2. I think that'll be a good idea. Yeah, he said he preferred Space Babies in his community video for Robot Revolution, I think. Wait, did he? Wait, let me have a look. That's crazy from him. Don't get me wrong, I love him, but that's crazy. Wait. Let me find it. But yeah, I think I am predicting a slight increase in viewers for this episode, because, like, everyone seems so curious about the animated side of it. Wait, let me have a look. Whereabouts does he say it in the video? Do you know? Maybe I'll have a look later, but... Also, I didn't realise he was already on 26k. Well, congratulations to him. I'm still struggling. We're almost there. I'm having... Surely you can't value Doctor Who as much as 2005 to 2017. I guess it depends what you mean by value. I mean, like, the thing is, you know, obviously, like, the Chibnall era was a weak spot for me, but, like, it's all still one show at the end of the day. Like, I mean, to be honest, if anything, my strong opinions on the previous era was kind of what got me into talking about it again, albeit not necessarily for positive reasons, but I kind of fell out a bit of interest sort of in, like, mid-Capaldi era. But I've really been enjoying the Gatwa era, you know, like, it's not perfect, but, on broadcast, I think it's had some really unique ideas. You know, I think Gatwa's a great choice. I think it visually looks fantastic. I mean, it would with all the money it's got. But, like, it's funny because anyone who likes Doctor Who, anyone who likes any Doctor Who made in, like, the last decade is just immediately, like, you know, like, oh, you're being paid. You're a secret paid operative. You know, you're getting secret bills to, like, promote this pro-Doctor Who propaganda. It's like, no, I just quite liked some of the episodes last year. Like, I don't know. And the thing is, I've also been incredibly critical of episodes like Empire of Death recently as well. So it's kind of like, on the one hand, you're saying I'm paid, but on the other hand, I said I thought that the finale was really bad. So I don't really know how that works. 14 is better than 10. I can understand it. I think they're two sides of the same coin. I do love 14. My hot take is that he fully deserves to be a numbered incarnation. He's got a good character arc. Watch my video on the 14th Doctor if you haven't. It's one of my favourite videos I've done. I figured it out. You're Stephen Moffat. You found me. It's me, Stephen Moffat. I'm going to be writing for Series 3. Season 3. Amazing it's so bad with a £100 million budget. I think the £100 million budget thing is largely like a disproven thing, right? Like, didn't Russell say that, like, that's what was reported and he said that was wrong? RTD or Moffat, which do you prefer? It's difficult because they both have different strengths and weaknesses. I think the ultimate showrunner, I've said this a few times, would be if you just fused them both together. But, like, so RTD, I think, does the grounded stuff better, and also, I think, like, he does the world building really well. Moffat is very good at, like, concepts, and he's also very good at, like, kind of like the darkness of it. I think tonally I kind of broadly prefer like Moffat, I think. But I also think that RTD broadly is more consistent. So I honestly could swing either way. I think Russell has... I think like it's difficult because like with Stephen there were some series I wasn't a fan of, but then equally, you know, there's been some episodes recently with Russell I'm not a fan of. I mean, Moffat made my favourite Doctor, but I think RTD1 is more consistent than Moffat. But then RTD2 is probably about the same in terms of its consistency because as like some of Moffat's stuff, so it's hard to know. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you to Rob Del Tony, I hope I'm saying that right. What if Mrs. Flood is a Doctor Who fan from our universe and has somehow managed to enter the universe as for what's called Cyberman, maybe Steve, Cyberleaker? Oh, I like that. That's good. I don't know. What's the other Cyberman's name? It's Dennis Mike Hawk is the name. Because two people donated the most money. Cyberleaker sounds like something from a different website. That's true. That's true. Oh, blur it, censor it. No, I do actually think that's funny. That's good though. Steve is good. I am Steve. You know, actually, I have a cameo, and someone requested on it, like one of the first requests I got on it was just to recite Minecraft movie lines. So that was fun. Have you seen Bolstreak's video on Robot Revolution? He's back again. I didn't watch it, but I've seen he's uploaded it. I'm probably not going to bother. I don't think I have the energy to deal with it anymore. You know, like, there's only so many times you can watch someone go, and Dr. Nutty and Princess Ruby and before it's like, it's just not funny anymore. It's just like, it just becomes repetitive and, like, annoying. Like, because he doesn't actually critique anything. He just sort of plays this character and just recites the plot while doing weird jabs. Like, it's not criticism. Yeah, exactly. It's just the same thing over and over again. I mean, if anything, Bolstreak's videos are the perfect demonstration of how easy the right-wing grift is, because all you have to do is recite the plot and make the same old easy jokes, and it's just instant revenue. So anyone who says that, like, you know, we're like grifters, it's funny because when you look at them, all they have to do is say woke, and they all clap like seals. They all go, yay! My cameo is like $5, I think, like £3, something like that. I knew my worth. I knew I wasn't worth that much. I just kind of did it as a fun thing because I sometimes get requests for things. So if there's a thing that you want me to say, I'll do it as long as it's not, you know, beyond the pale. Do we know if Rose Noble is returning? I did hear about maybe her being in the finale. I seem to remember reading something like that about it. Is Bolstreak going to be one of the Doctor Who fans in the next day? That's the thing. That's actually a good question. Do we think that when they mean Doctor Who fans, do they mean actual Doctor Who fans, or do they mean, are they going to take a jab at the racists? I kind of hope they don't even acknowledge them, to be honest. Don't give them the oxygen, but another part of me is like, would be quite funny. Rebecca, I seem to remember someone saying about it. I can't remember where, though. The thing is, if I look for it, I'll probably be looking for it for the rest of the day. Do we know if Joe Locke is above Doctor Who's pay grade? Who's Joe Locke again? That's probably incredibly offensive to somebody, and I apologise. He sounds familiar, I just can't place it. I'll probably know his face. Joe Locke. Wonder if the Nobles will be in the spin-off at all. Possibly, yeah. Imagine if they're like, oh yeah, we could do it a season 3, guys, but you know, because of the views, we're gonna get David Tennant and Catherine Tate back again. Oh, that guy. Oh, what's he been in? I've seen him before. Heartstopper. Possibly, yeah. He's only 21. He's my age. Wow, he's younger than me. Oh, don't like that. Oh no. I'm 22 this year. Can you believe that? I started doing these videos when I was like 15, and now I'm 22. Hey Theory, it's good to see you, man. Good to see you too, YTP Chamber. Would love to see Rupert Grint as the Doctor. I don't know whether I see it, but maybe. Thing is, like, any actor can surprise you with, like, the Doctor. That's the thing. No one knew who Matt Smith was when he was cast, and I mean, look how he turned out. You know, so anyone can work. I always find it funny when people like automatically assume what like a Doctor's going to be like before like you see any of them. It's like, how do you know? You're 26. Odds that David Tennant is the next Doctor. I actually got the answer to this question because I asked in a previous video you know, anyone who bet on him being the next Doctor, were they reimbursed when it was announced that yes, he would be the Doctor before shooting? But no, apparently they never heard back from the betting companies. So there you go. I hope they play off the 3 Doctor Who fans tomorrow night episode as well. Don't want it to ruin it. Yeah, I see what you mean. Are you doing one of these every week? I'm going to try. Whether I manage it is another thing, but I'll certainly try my best. Only 25,800 subscribers knew Darius was cast as the 16th Doctor. And that's why you need to subscribe, because you get exclusives like that. So you're a Scream of the Sharker baby? Yes, I am. Actually, when did Scream of the Sharker come out? I know it was 2003, but when in 2003? Scream of the Sharker. It released November, so I would have been born because I was a July baby. July 12th is my birthday. Darius could never keep a consistent live stream schedule. This is true. This is unfortunately very true. What would you like? What monsters would you like to face if you were in a Doctor Who episode, Darius? I mean, the obvious choice would be either the Daleks or the Cybermen. The Cybermen are my favourite, so possibly them. If I'm getting into, I mean, I would have loved to have faced Sutak back in the day, but you know, these days I'm not too sure. Because I mean, you know, we could have been 2 sit-in buddies. You know, we could have been sat side by side, staring at each other. You excited for tomorrow's episode? Yeah, I am very excited, actually. I would love to see the Silurians return. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult with them because the problem is I feel like they always end up doing the same story with them, which is, oh, we've got to cohabit the Earth. How do we do it? I feel like they need to do something new. You know who I want to see? The Autons. I want to see, where have they been doing this whole time? It's only, like, when the last time they appeared, like, Smith? What have they been doing, you know? What's the context for the Regeneration music in the style? Basically, Murray Gold released 2 pieces of soundtrack, and one of the pieces kind of sounds like Shooty's Regeneration music. Hence that. I realise now that I covered that so long ago that people have probably forgotten what the original point of that was, and for that I apologise. Yes, I love the Autons. Nice. They are standing on shelves behind me. Hang on, where are they? Wait, which ones are the Autons? Or are they on my Series 1 display? Oh yeah, they're on my Series 1 display. Unless you've just been plastic in general, in which case you're technically right. For context, there's like 2 more shelves over this side, which you can see part of one, but you can't see the other one. The problem is, like, these shelves look really good, but the problem with them is, they don't like fit some of the taller figures on some of the parts, so like, it looks really cool and dynamic, but it doesn't really always work. I have a feeling Doctor Who is fiction and not real. I disagree. I disagree. How dare you? I went to the Doctor Who experience. I saw the Weeping Angels. They're real. I saw them. In fact, oh, I missed the Doctor. There was a great video I watched covering the history of the Doctor Who experience and other Doctor Who exhibitions. It was really good. But it got me so nostalgic because I remember watching the kind of news report thing online when it got announced and them doing the whole thing of like the monsters breaking out. Like, I remember my dad showing me that and my mind just being blown by, oh my god, we're having like a whole experience in Cardiff. Oh, I'm so nostalgic for it. One day we'll see something like it again. Or maybe not. Well, the thing is, I sort of think, if not for the fact that Doctor Who's currently on Disney, you know, we might have had a shot with the Universal theme park opening up, but I guess that might be off the table while the mouse is financing. But who knows? Would love to see an updated figure collection video. What I might do is I might wait till the end of this year just to see what more figures we have. And I can say this, and none of you will know what I mean, but I actually might have some plans vis-a-vis action figures in the coming months. And that's all I can say on that. But stay tuned for that, because I've been working on a little project. See, I work on things behind the scenes, other than this. Mr. Ring comic strip in 615. Yes, I did see that. I don't think I covered it when I covered Terry's figure. No way, I wish. Well, I know what you mean. You know what I mean, out of eyes, but no one else does. Shh, it's a secret. What are the figures you've got behind you on top of the Dalek Funko Pop? These are the 14th Doctor. They're like vinyl figures, but they're not Funko Pops. They're like kawaii, what are they called? Titan figures, I think, is what they're called. I just wanted them because I think at the time they were Comic-Con exclusive. Now you can get them everywhere, but I got my mate Kevin from America to grab me some. I need to get actually the 15 Titan figure, but he looks vaguely disturbing. I saw a great TikTok today, actually, of a guy who... Do you remember those Titan figures? It was the guy who made the shirtless 11th Doctor Titan figure, being like, I'm so sorry that I did this. It was very funny. Where did you get that Sonic shell from? I think this was an eBay thing, but honestly, my recommendation would be don't buy one of these, because they don't fit the Sonics very well. So I personally wouldn't get one of these. They look cool, but I would recommend getting something else. There are other Sonic holders online that probably would do it better. What was the first thing in the collection behind you? I don't know. I mean, probably. I mean, the Doctors have changed a bit, because one of the first things I ever got was the 11 Doctors box set. I got it as a birthday present when I was a kid. So some of the Doctors are probably some of the oldest things in the collection, because they were from that original pack. So probably those. I used to love, even Doctors I hadn't seen as a kid, I loved the idea of having all of them. I guess it must be like how people feel about having all the Pokemon. I needed to have all the Doctors, have all the, have all the little accessories. I loved that. I loved like reading about all the different Doctors and all the different stories and stuff. A glass cabinet would be something I'd really like to get one day, but right now I just do not have the space. Darius, will you pick up Little People Doctor Who set? Oh, is that the new Mattel thing? The little guys. I thought that was only a US thing, unless that's coming here as well. If it is, yeah, probably. Maybe I'll have to ship it over. I don't know. Do you have all the Doctor Who's on Blu-ray? I do not. I have a couple of the collections. I have Season 25 and Season 10. Season 10 was a gift. I do have the 60th and Season 1 Steelbooks. I don't collect as many of the Blu-rays because, I'll put my hands up and say I'm quite a digital enjoyer in the sense that it's a lot more convenient for me, especially as someone who, kind of struggles with discs and all that sort of stuff. But I do like collecting, so I probably will get the Season 2 Steelbook just because I've gotten all the Steelbooks from this era so far. So just to finish the collection. Thank you, JSP, for the £2. I think that's the second super chat from you, isn't it, JSP? Thank you very much. If 15 doesn't say bow ties are cool in Lux, I'll be mad. True. I mean, there was that one review that said that an iconic piece of 11th Doctor music played. So imagine if he says bow ties are cool as the animated guy, and then I Am the Doctor plays. I would ascend because 11 is my childhood Doctor, and if they do that, that would be really cool. The only thing, the physical thing I have is An Unearthly Child. I mean, it's probably a good idea to have that one. To be fair, I do also have a bunch of classic DVDs, but they're underneath Sutek. This is actually a classic DVD rack. You can kind of see a bit of the DVDs around there, but you can't see all of them because they're covered by the head. I really hope we hear I Am the Doctor. That would put a smile on my face. I mean, we did hear a version of it in, what was it? The Star Beast, when Donna when the Met Crisis comes back, which I thought was a fun use because it's signifying that she's become the Doctor again, kind of thing, which I think is really fun. I am the Doctor plays. It will be absolute cinema. True. I will be the Scorsese meme. I'm pretty sure Shooty at some point. I'm pretty sure at some point they played I Am the Doctor for Shooty. I can't remember when. Did they? I remember it for Donna in the 60th. I don't remember it for Shooty, but they might have done. One of my favourite moments in this era so far is the bit with the toy maker where he's when he's puppeting all the companions and basically going, your companions all died, Doctor, yeah. That's my toy maker impression. But you hear Clara's theme and Amy's theme and Bill's theme. It's like, oh, it's so good. I am a certified giggle defender, though, to be fair. I've always thought that one was good and a little bit overhated. I get that some people don't like the bi-generation, but my god, that episode's fun. Neil Patrick Harris as the Toymaker is so good. I want the Toymaker to come back. And she was killed by a bird! I love that as well, because I love his reaction feels genuine. I can imagine Neil Patrick Harris reading the script and going, what the hell have I signed up for? You could hear the long song when they got on the boat. Can you? What, in Dot and Bubble? Oh. I'm a little sold on the idea that the cancellation scare is part of the marketing. Even though I did that video as a theory, I don't think that they would actually do that. Although it would admittedly be very funny. Part of me wants to believe that they would, just because of how funny it would be, but... I do really like the giggle, TBH. I prefer the Paradox as an individual special, but the giggle is great in an episode of itself. I think the thing is, the giggle is... obviously, yeah, it's part of the 60th anniversary, but it's kind of more of a conclusion to New Who, in a sense, before the new Who with 2023 onwards. And I think as that, it does the job well. Yeah, it's a remix of Long Song, which merges into 15th theme. Okay. Would you play another Doctor Who game on stream? Enjoyed the Eternity Clock one you did? Possibly. There aren't that many good ones, is the honest problem with that. Because I remember playing Edge of Reality when that came out, which was the not VR one. There was a VR version, but they then released a not VR version. I played the not VR version. And, obviously, I don't want to be too mean, because they did send me a code, but... I really struggled. It glitched a lot. Gmod's Doctor Who stream, do it theories. Possibly, yes. That might be something that comes up in the future. Come on, Atomize. You know deep down you love Murray Gold. Top Trumps it is? Oh, maybe. I'll see if I can get the old Top Trumps game working. That'd be good. I used to have that on the Wii, and it used to be sick because... the pointers would be the sonic screwdriver, and then for player 2, you'd get the laser screwdriver, which was sick. That was the one time I thought being player 2 was cool, because, I get to use the laser screwdriver. Ares is a gamer? Apparently. It's been said. Ares, how do you think 15 will regenerate? I don't know. It's really hard to predict that. I reckon it'll be a more somber regeneration. I'm kind of picturing, more... 10-esque, but then I guess there was a definitive reason why he did. It could just be a Fourth Doctor thing where it's just my time now, I'm just gonna die, There's this guy following me. I remember seeing a theory once that the 73 Yards Woman is the same thing as the Watcher, which was a fun theory. Although I don't know why they'd merge together, but I mean, it probably isn't, but it was a cool idea. Lava chicken. Didn't expect you to be still streaming. Just got back from work. I didn't expect to be either. I'll probably leave it in about 10 minutes. I feel like I said that about half an hour ago, and I'm still here. But I've just been having a good time. So, favorite and least favorite regeneration seed. Favorite 11s, least favorite 12s. It's funny because they're both written by the same guy. 12's is just too waffly for me. I'm sorry. It's like, children can hear your name, and the hearts are in the right place, and the stars are too, and it's too long, you know? It's too, like... And I know that 11's is long, but I feel like it has more to say. Yeah, no, I agree with that, Atomize. I would like a more parting of the ways style Regeneration. Something a bit more low-key, where it's just a normal story that just so happens to be the Regeneration. I agree. Though considering it was 15 hours since the Doctor regenerated on the cliff, it's really funny knowing the Doctor had to watch 2 villains dance to pop songs in that time. Yeah, no, that is funny. It's also funny as well because he got shot by a laser twice in the span of one day. Because there's the one with the... What's it called? The Quarrants? What's it called in Power of the Doctor? The thing that, like... Bzz, got Jodie, and then there's also the galvanic beam in the Giggle as well, so it's just kind of funny. The Quarrants, yeah, that's it. I can never say it right. Yeah, I really like 13's Regeneration. As someone who's not, you know, as people know, a massive 13th Doctor fan, I really like her Regeneration. I think it's really nice. I really like her final words, tag you're it. It's nice. It's nice. I like her Regeneration. And it's got a nice location. I like her Regeneration a lot. See, I can be nice. The second Doctor's original regeneration has been the worst. Why the burp? Wait. Which one? Where does 32's weekly shop? Honestly, it varies, but my favourite is Tesco. I'm a Tesco man. I love Tesco. Which I feel like the follow-up question to that is, what's your meal deal of choice? In which case, it's probably a wrap, a Dr. Pepper, and some sort of crisps. I don't know what. The wrap would probably be the duck one that they do. Crisp-wise, I'm really not too picky. Probably some Walkers. Lidl's is good. To be fair, Little Bakery, they got some good stuff in there. Theory's films in a memory TARDIS. I wish. That set would be so fun to film with. Although, to be fair, it does look a bit cramped. But then again, so is this office. So maybe it wouldn't be too bad. Click on accepted, babes. Nice. Oh, true. Yeah, good point. I didn't think of that, Matty. Yeah. Unexpected item in the bagging area. They should get me to do the voice of that. That's what I want to do. When I retire, instead of being the curator, I'm going to be the shop announcer at Tesco. I'm going to be the one that's like, unexpected item in bagging area. That's going to be me. Theory's a fellow Duck Rap fan. Finally a base Theory's take after all these years. Yep. Oh, the Sutton Fried Chicken Wrap is good too. Yep. That's a good choice. New Cyberman catchphrase. No, that's my catchphrase for, you know. that's just my daily life catchphrase. Unexpected. Oh wait, no, baggage. No, I got it wrong. I thought it was unexpected baggage in the item area, but then I realised that doesn't really work. Wait, which is better, Chinese takeaway or Indian? See, that's a really hard question. I mean, I probably have a slight preference for Indian, but I really love both. It depends what you get. What future spin-offs would you like to see? I've always thought Absalom Dak would make for a really fun spin-off, but you'd have to like do it like brand new. Absalom Dak, for those of you who aren't aware, is like the Dalek killer. His family are killed by Daleks, and so he basically becomes like a bounty hunter hunting them. You might have to expand the concept into him being a bounty hunter for other general like villains, but I always loved him because he's such like the opposite of the Doctor. I've always thought that'd be a really fun spin-off. Other ideas, I mean, there's the obvious ones. I think something like a monster-based spin-off would be fun, but more like an anthology series, like where we just focus on one. Because that was kind of a rumor for a while that we'd have an episode with each different monster. I'd love to see you play Infamous Return to Earth game. Oh, is that the Wii one? Yeah, I had the DS one, which was released around the same time. Is that the, yeah, that's the Wii one, yeah. I'm going to a wedding tomorrow. Chat, do I bring a Sonic with me? Yes. Oh, we've got another super chat. Thank you to Matty for the £4.99 super chat. If the TV show theory is true, do you think they go full into it, link every story since the 60th, or reality has been partially manipulated? If they go for it since the 60th, that's fine. I don't want them to do the Sutek thing of every story ever made has been inside a show. I think that would be bad. I don't know why, to be honest, they made it that like he was on the TARDIS for like the whole show, when you could have just said he was on the TARDIS since Wild Blue Yonder, and it would make way much more sense. But don't get me started on Empire of Death. That's the whole thing. Yeah, pretty much all of them aren't great, to be fair. I do agree. No, that's alright, Matty. I got what you were saying. And thank you for the super chat. Yeah, to be fair, 15 Sonic you can fold down. 15 Sonic, to be fair, is like the ultimate fidget toy. For some reason, my blue one, I just picked it up today because I was going to like do a thumbnail shot with it. And like, it stopped buzzing. Oh no, now it is. Oh, there we go. Wait, no, look, see? It's having performance issues. Wait. Oh, what's going on there? It worked for like a second, and then it's just... Alright, well, I guess that's... Is the battery gone? Yeah, report back to us. To be fair, I mean, I do have the red one's working fine. Obviously, I've got all my old ones back there. This one works. Performance issues are common. Need some proper bench thumping. Wait. No, I didn't do anything. I might have to buy a replacement. If we're getting shooty replacement, can we have a Doctor in one standard costs? You think you mean a standard costume, or do you mean a Sonic that costs a standard amount? Because I... The battery life of Sonics are awful. What are characters thinking? They never used to be. They used to last for ages. I'm wondering if it's a battery thing, whether it's just... Oh, yeah, no, she didn't, actually. I think she might have to go get my brother. Theres, you are a Welshman. Yes, that is true, and I'm proud of it. Represent. Maybe that's why I like Russell so much. It's just the Welsh solidarity kicking in, you know? Are the best episodes at the start, middle, or the end of an era's run generally, in your opinion? I think for a lot of Doctors, I mean, for me, like, Tennant, some of his best stuff comes later on. And I think Capaldi, some of my favourite stuff with him is Series 10. Smith's a funny one, where I actually do think Series 5 is his strongest series. Not to say that he doesn't have some great stories after that fact, he does, but yeah, no, I kind of agree with that, Friendly Attack. I think it's a good one-off idea with having like a very varied wardrobe, but I think well, I think there's a balance, right? Like, I don't want it to feel too much like just a uniform, but I think doing something like what the 12th Doctor had, where it's like a basic silhouette, but you know, the variables change, could probably work. Still hope we get an Expo special this year. I really don't know whether we will. It's an interesting question. I mean, because Shooty's doing that thing now, isn't he? From August till about November. So I don't really know how they can. Unless they film one in like between May and August. I mean, Is 2 months even long enough? I guess it could be done. That is one thing I'm actually glad they brought back the Christmas special. Not only because I just think it's a cool event, but also because that is just where Doctor Who gets the most viewers. So like, it just makes sense to have that there, I think. I'd never have guessed you're Welsh. No, I am. I'm in Cardiff right now, which is very handy as a Doctor Who fan, to be fair. Don't forget to subscribe, you all. Yes, do that. Please do that. I'm working very hard on videos these last couple of days, so any support is appreciated. And I've got a lot of exciting things to come too. A lot of surprises in store. Gotta get going. Have fun with the rest of the stream, guys. See you later. In fact, it's 10:30, so I might call it there. I've had an absolutely wonderful time. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I've had a whale of a time. Thank you for all the super chats. Very much appreciated. You guys have been super generous. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, probably, for episode 2, Lux. I'm an old woman, Theories. Thanks for your Doctor Who content. I like your opinions. Thank you. Thank you. Great stream, Theories. Thank you. Take care, everyone. Very excited for tomorrow's episode. Me too. Me too. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Oh, I did mention David Tennant's birthday. Happy birthday again to David Tennant. I mentioned it earlier, but happy birthday to him as well. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.